Hey guys, QB here. In this video, I'll be breaking down and analyzing how Rick Grimes spotted a helicopter while all alone in the most recent episode of The Walking Dead. With that being said, warning of spoilers for everything in the show up to episode 805, and let's jump right into this. So, while Rick was walking along and making his way to the junkyard group, he looks up and is shocked to see a helicopter flying above him. So what the hell? Is he hallucinating? Did anyone else see it? And who's flying it? Well, let's start off answering these questions one by one, starting with the hallucination theory. So Rick has no reason to be hallucinating right now. He isn't crazy like after Lori died in Season 3, and he's been completely coherent throughout all of Season 8. That being said, I believe the helicopter is real, but who knows when it'll come to fruition, if ever. This may be simply a reference to the very first episode of the show, where Rick chases after a helicopter in Atlanta. As he walks through the city on his horse, he hears a helicopter and starts looking around. He then sees the reflection of it in a skyscraper in front of him, leading him to take off on his horse after it. This of course is what caused him to blindly turn around that corner into a huge horde of walkers, resulting in his horse getting eaten sadly, along with him getting stuck in that tank at the end of the first episode. Now the show never followed up on that helicopter, so it's possible that they may never follow up on the one Rick saw in episode 805 as well. That being said, Season 8 has been referencing classic Walking Dead moments all season. Although some are clever and sly, others seems blatant and random. It's like they stuck as many references in as possible. I guess what I'm saying is it's like they're almost trying too hard to recapture the classic Walking Dead feels. And although I enjoy it when they reference past events in the show or bring up old characters, I prefer to have a solid point in the story, like how Rick brought up Shane to Michonne in Season 7 because he admitted to her that he knows that he isn't Judah's father. Anyways, I believe that the last time we saw an operating helicopter on The Walking Dead was in Season 3 with the governor. He manipulated the soldiers momentarily just to murder all of them and take their shit. So with all that being said, is the helicopter Rick saw in episode 805 the military? Will we see the remnants of a government, and if so, will they be good people or corrupted villains? I would love to see a non-corrupted group of the government. I just think that would be really interesting. Do they have some sort of plan for reinstating civilization? Do they have a community of their own? Like, what's the deal there? I think that that would be like way more interesting than just seeing a bunch of greedy, rich, corrupt assholes. Another option is that it could be a militia or a group of survivors. Is it possible that we could run into a group similar to Troy's militia from episode 301 of Fear the Walking Dead? For the sake of redundancy, I'd probably doubt it, but it's definitely possible to eventually find another group of villains in the world of The Walking Dead that just are wearing military uniforms. Also, did the junkyard people hear or see the helicopter? It's possible for their lookout to have maybe spotted it if Rick was close enough to the junkyard when he saw it. The last we saw of Rick in 805, he was walking out of the forest and out into the entrance of the junkyard, so who knows how far away in the forest he was when he spotted the helicopter. Some people say that the junkyard group could own or fly the helicopter, but they take and don't bother. Operating a helicopter sure sounds like a hell of a lot of work. And as far as the savior goes, I mean, it's slightly more realistic that maybe they have a helicopter over the junkyard group, but again, I feel like we would have seen it by now, or at least heard of it, or would have seen foreshadowing of some kind. Apparently the crossover reveal is confirmed to be happening during Talking Dead after episode 806 airs, so is the helicopter related to the crossover? If so, will someone from Fear the Walking Dead be flying it? Could it be Taka or Crazy Dog? Could they actually appear in the world of The Walking Dead by Season 8 or Season 9? And now, the rest of this video will include comic book spoilers from this point onward. I won't really be discussing too much after All Out War or during it, but this is a future story arc, so if you don't want to know anything about it, I guess thanks for watching, but I'm gonna continue on here. So, this actually has to do with like the most recent issue of The Walking Dead being released in November 2017, December 2017, and all throughout the beginning of 2018. So, is it the Ohio group? Now, currently in the comics, we're being introduced to a new group in Ohio. Apparently they're called the Commonwealth. I'm not too sure about that, but this takes place about 3 to 4 years after the all-out war with Negan, and our group still lives at Alexandria. During the New Beginning and the Whisper story arcs, we have a small side story arc going on with Eugene where he actually makes contact with some woman named Stephanie over a radio. Eugene keeps her a secret while he builds a trusting friendship with her, but everyone eventually finds out about it. Now, post-Whisperer War, Stephanie's group has transitioned into the new major story arc called the New World Order. This has been advertised to be the next big story arc in the comics, similar to A Larger World, Something to Fear, All Out War, The Whisper War, etc. In the comics, Eugene takes a small group of survivors to travel to a meeting spot with this Ohio group. All we know up to this point is that the Ohio group gets the jump on Eugene's group and that they wear white riot armor, similar to the riot gear from the prison back in Season 3. Now, the cover for issue 175, part 1 of 6 of the New World Order actually references an old comic cover back in the day, around issue 25, if not issue 25, where we can see, I think, Rick, Glenn, and Michonne wearing that riot gear themselves. And then the issue after that, the New World Order part 2 of 6 that comes out in February 2018, I believe, shows a woman with 2 white armored soldiers beside her, implying that this woman might be the leader of the Ohio group. Is she Stephanie? Did she manipulate Eugene? Are they somehow connected to the former government of the United States? Are these politicians, or do we have another governor on our hands? Now, the reason why I took the time to explain all of that is because I personally believe that the helicopter Rick saw is owned by them. Although there is a high chance that it is just the Fear the Walking Dead crossover, or that we'll never hear anything of it again, I think that it would just be perfect for them to set up the Ohio group this way. Have Rick see the helicopter and leave it a mystery until seasons 10 or 11. Think about it, we still have the entire New Beginning and Whisper War story arcs before we even start thinking about the Ohio group. And when we are finally introduced to them, it'll all come full circle as they possibly reveal that they indeed have a helicopter. If you see a helicopter fly over you in an apocalypse, there's a fair chance that you'll never learn why. What do you guys think about the mysterious helicopter sighting? Is it the crossover for Fear the Walking Dead, or is it more than that? Also, how soon will we get an answer to this, if ever? I'd appreciate a like on the video if you've enjoyed anything I've said today, or even subscribe for more Walking Dead content in the near future. And if you'd like to take an extra step in helping support my videos, consider checking out my Patreon, where there's a bunch of different rewards involving the channel, such as a chance to directly influence the videos being produced. It isn't necessary by any means, but some of these videos do take a while, so it could really help in the long run. But as always, I thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out.